Hi, my name is Amy Olson, and I am super excited about having you here in my creating kitchen this morning. Thanks for being with me. This is episode 1 of a new endeavor that I've been thinking about for a really long time. We titled it Amy's Table. And Amy's Table is all about community, bringing people together. And one of my favorite things to do is cook for friends and bring them together around my kitchen table, around my dining room table, and create a meal for them. We're breaking it down and making it a little more simple right now, and the whole premise of this show is to bring people together, to create something that tastes wonderful, and to then share our stories of how we handle life's challenges. I've had a lot of life's challenges that have tried to knock me down, and this cooking show is really about getting well. But it's really about getting well around a table where we share our stories, where we share our experiences, and we also share some really good food. So, again, I'm Amy Olson, and I'm going to teach you today how to make an apple pie. Having watched a lot of cooking shows in my past, one thing I understand is you're supposed to already have the finished product ready to go. So last night I made an apple pie, and so we're going to enjoy that together in just a few minutes after I teach you how to make my famous pie crust. I'm not sure what makes something famous, but I'm going to say it's because every time we go someplace or have a family gathering, I'm asked to make my pies. So I'll call it Amy's Famous Pie Crust. It's probably a recipe. Every good recipe is usually a recipe that's stolen, and then a few things added here and there to make it your own. So this is a recipe that came in 9th grade to me from my home economics teacher. We had just moved to Kentucky, my family from Michigan to Kentucky. And I had a home ec class. I am convinced that home ec is incredibly essential in schools because it teaches some of those basic skills that I think many of our kids don't have these days. So I'm a big fan of home economics, and for men and women to be able to know how to navigate themselves in a kitchen and to be able to cook for themselves. So let's get started on a pie crust. This isn't difficult to do. Most people buy those frozen pie crusts, and those are fine. But if you really want a really homemade pie crust, you're going to have to do it yourself. I'm going to hopefully show you a few ways not to be so afraid of it. So I'm going to start with my nice, hopefully clear things so you can see what I'm doing. This is going to make 4 pie crusts. What I'm going to do is use 2 of them today, freeze 2 of them for another time. So I like to make a batch of 4 pie crusts, so I always have something available. Yes, I know for you cooking gurus, this is a liquid measuring cup, but I wanted it to be clear so that you could see what I'm doing. This is 4 measured cups of flour. When you measure your cups of flour, you really want to, I'll just show it in here. I don't use sifted. I'm not real fancy in the kitchen. I'm just pretty homegrown here, but I don't press them down. I just make sure that the flour is nice and level before I add it. So 4 cups of flour. Good. And let's see here. A tablespoon of sugar. I don't ever mind making it a little bit heavier. A teaspoon of salt. By the way, this recipe will be uploaded to our website that you're either looking at now because you're on the Amy's Table website, or it will be live really soon. So the recipe for the pie crust will be posted on the website. It will be uploaded soon. So these are the 3 dry ingredients that I use in the base of the crust. So again, you're going to see a lot of flour on my I'm not very neat, which is why I've got an apron on. And that's okay. As long as my hands are clean, I'm good to go. I say the messier you get, that's why you marry a good man that really is okay about cleaning up after you. So I'm going to tell our camera crew right now to turn around and take a picture of my wonderful husband, Tom. He is my partner in every way. And he's also a fantastic cleaner-upper. So I make the mess, he cleans up the mess. So big shout out to my girls behind the cameras today, Alana and Anna, who we did a test run of this last week, and they came looking really shabby. And then they found out that I was going to make them get on the camera too. So today they look amazingly better. So here we go. We got our base. Now we're going to go to our shortening. And I have tried both like Crisco shortening, vegetable shortening, which is what this is. And I've also tried lard. Some people swear by either one. Here's the deal. You figure out which one works best for you, but they're the same ingredients. So they're not the same amounts of the ingredients. If you're a lard person and you want to use lard in your pie, go right ahead. But this recipe calls for 1 3/4 cups of vegetable shortening or lard. And now I'm a fan of these wonderful sticks because look how easy to measure it that is. Boom, all done. And then I've got a little piece of a stick, 1/4 cup of Crisco that next time I bake a cake, all I have to do is rub that in my cake pan and I'm ready to bake that cake. So, okay, so I'm going to, one of the tricks of this is you want to get your Crisco, your shortening I should say. I haven't been picked up by Crisco yet to endorse their product, but that's coming, I believe. So you want to take that shortening and mix it really solidly in with your flour, with your dry mixture. It's the next step. And again, I'm going to be telling in a little bit, the less you handle the dough, the better off your crusts are. But you really got to get in there and handle this stuff with your fork. A lot of people use one of those, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but it breaks into the pie and it kind of disperses the Crisco into the flour, the shortening into the flour. And those are great, whatever works best for you, but I just kind of like to get in there with a fork and get that all interspersed there. So in just a few minutes, I'll be back with this ready to go.